Welcome to Live to Lead, a program that is designed to help you and me to live lives of influence and impact, making a difference in our generation, making a difference to those who enter our realm, making sure that we become our best in our areas of influence. And this comes to you with the compliments of Bishop Ending Klapo, the founder of God Never Fails Revival Church and the owner of this God Never Fails television station. And we thank God that He has seen it fit for us to be doing this thing in this channel. And of course, you can watch us as well through our YouTube channel and then our live streaming on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us today. We encourage you to join us every Thursday at 3 o'clock South African time. And then, of course, using the other media, you can also be catching us at different times, even as you wish. Today, we continue with Resetting to Thrive in the New Normal series. The series called Resetting to Thrive in the New Normal. The new normal is brought about by a crisis. But for you to thrive in the new normal, you need to reset. And in this part 3 of Resetting to Thrive in the New Normal, we deal with resetting your stage. Resetting your stage. Part 1 was about reset your sanity. Part 2 was about reset your sight. And this, part 3, is reset your stage. We read our recurring scripture in this series, Proverbs chapter 22, verse 3, reading from the New Living Translation. A prudent person foresees danger and takes precautions. The simpleton goes blindly on and suffers the consequences. We have seen that the new normal can be an evil place, can be a dangerous place, which you must foresee. And we have said what makes the new normal dangerous or evil is not because it is dangerous or evil in itself, but it is so because it is unfamiliar, because it is uncertain, because it is ambiguous, because it is non-linear, it is discontinuous, so it can be very scary. It is dangerous and evil because we were not prepared for it. However, if you are prudent and you foresee it, you take precautions, and part of taking precautions is to reset, is to reorganize yourself, is to recalibrate yourself, is to set yourself up for it. That's what we mean by resetting, so you can thrive in the new normal. And the new normal is nothing but an inevitable consequence of the crisis. It was birthed by the crisis. Others will enjoy it and others will struggle in it. It depends on whether you are able to reset yourself for it or not. Now, in this series, Resetting Yourself, Resetting to Thrive in the New Normal, we are dealing with 7 reset elements. The first one is reset your sanity. The second one is reset your sight. The third one is reset your stage. The fourth is reset your sales. The fifth is reset your standards. The sixth is reset your scales. And the seventh is reset your sound. And today we are dealing with the third one, which is part 3, reset your stage. Now, why must you reset your stage? Just like a crisis comes and it messes up your mind, you become insane and you must reset your sanity. Just like a crisis comes and it makes you not to see that well, and you must reset your sight. Guess what? The crisis like an earthquake. It comes and it shakes the foundation of your business, the foundation of your organization. So we say, if the foundations are destroyed, those who build do so in vain. If the foundations are destroyed, what can the righteous do? The Bible says. So we are going to be dealing with how you can reset your stage, because the stage is the foundation upon which your business has been built. It is the platform upon which you render your operations or you perform your functions or your tasks. So that stage or that foundation or that platform must be firm and stable. So here we are dealing with sustainability and the stability of your business. And there are 7 things that are critical here, and we find it in what we call the 7S McKinsey framework. It deals with strategy, structure, systems, style, staff, skills, and shared values. We will not get deep into these things except just to mention them, and we are giving you a task for you to go and do some homework and study the 7S McKinsey framework. The 7S McKinsey framework. The 7S McKinsey framework. That's where we have extracted those 7 elements there, or the 7 S's. So the first one is strategy. Listen to me. When a crisis comes and it messes up your organization, your strategy is in trouble. Basically, these elements, strategy, structure, systems, etc., they are the different components. They are the different components of your stage, of your foundation upon which your business operates. It's like a platform upon which you operate, or a foundation upon which your business or your organization has been built. Now, these are components of the foundation, of the stage, of the platform. And the first component is strategy, which means that when you are resetting your stage after a crisis, revisit your strategy. Why? The strategy you heard might have been good only for the old normal. And if you bring the strategy of yesterday into the new normal, you are also bringing the drama of yesterday into the new normal. And the past is gone. We are now in the new normal. Like I always say, we are not bouncing back to the old normal. We are bouncing forward to the new normal. Check your strategy. You find that it was only relevant for yesterday. But apart from that, the crisis must have made it a little irrelevant or unnecessary for that matter. Or certain aspects of your strategy, they need to be attended to. Or you need now to take into account the impact of the crisis, the impact of COVID-19 pandemic, the impact of retrenchments, the impact of the recession, whatever impact the crisis has had in your business, you must take that into account and re-strategize. That's why you need to have strategic agility. The second component is structure. You need to work on your structure. The organizational structure is obviously the product of strategy. Now that you needed to rethink your strategy, guess what? Any changes you make in your strategy will have an impact on your structure. As a matter of fact, the 7 elements or the 7 components of in the McKinsey framework, they are a constellation, which means they are integrated. Yes, they are distinct, but they belong together. You touch one, you are touching the other. You affect one, you are affecting the other. Any change in one, it causes changes in the others. So your structure obviously needs to be re-looked at. And the structure basically means the way we are organized, even in the way we communicate, in the way we pass on information, etc., and the way we relate in our functions, even as we walk together for getting along and getting ahead, getting along and getting ahead, getting along and getting ahead. The structure is critical. But then we also have got systems. I tell you, this is a very big thing when we get into the new normal. Like now, even when you look at church and you look at the way we do workshops, etc., in the past we would meet physically. But now in the new normal, there is a need for us for even much more to do things virtually. Even when we'll be allowed to come together physically, there's a lot of things that we are now going to continue to do virtually. So if the new normal calls on us to do things virtually, it means you must have the systems for that. In the old normal, because we were not under pressure to do things virtually, you will find that you didn't have the systems for virtual workshops and conferencing and virtual platforms of all kinds. But now, because of the new normal, you better look into your systems. Then the next is style. This is a style of leadership, how we lead, how we manage, how we do business. There's got to be a certain way of doing things. We need to re-look into our style of doing business, our style of leading our people, because things have changed. Our style of communication. And it is this leadership style, management style, that actually determines the culture and the climate in the organization. Our norms and our standards are all locked up in our style of doing things. We also need to look at the staff, because crisis comes and it affects the staff, either in terms of numbers. People die because of the crisis. Others become disabled because of the crisis. So we have lost some people. But sometimes we have not lost them physically, but now emotionally they are different people because they have gone through a crisis. Now the emotional makeup of your people is different. But the death and maybe the retrenchments, it affects the staff complement. So others become overworked, others have to do more work than before. But not only that, you find that because things have changed, even the functionality of the staff, even the issue of the tasks that are now given to them is going to affect your staff. This brings us to the next one, which is skill. Maybe a new set of skills is needed now in the new normal. Just by virtue of being in the new normal, we may need new skills. But because of the staff, we might have lost people and we don't have enough money to replace them. The people who are remaining, they may have to be multi-skilled so they can be multitasked. And the last one is shared values. The last S there is shared values, the values that are core in our business. What are the things that we equally value? Remember, we can value different things, but then there are those things that all of us must value. They are called shared values or core values. These are the ones that give birth to the organizational culture. So what are we saying in short when we are talking about resetting your stage? Your stage is the foundation upon which your business is built. It is a platform upon which you operate. So if you are thinking of operational excellence, you will not see excellence if the stage, if the foundation, if the platform is unstable, it's wobbly, because it has been rattled by the crisis, by the earthquake. And we are saying before we jump into running again, performing again, operating again, we must reset the stage. Let's set the stage firm and tight. And today, of course, the platforms we talk about, they are not only physical platforms, we even have social platforms. Depending on the kind of business, you need to reconsider what kind of a platform, what kind of a foundation is relevant for the business that you are going to be conducting in the new normal. That's what we talk about resetting. But what we're encouraging you to do is to go and revisit those 7 components of which are called the 7S McKinsey framework. Strategy, structure, systems, style, staff, skills, and shared values. Make sure that you work on those, you tighten them properly, you interlink them, integrate them very well. You will have a foundation that is fit for the new normal. Thank you for joining us today. I hope you are going to join us next time. Tell other people to join and have some watch party or watch clubs where you are learning together, and feel free to sit down and have a discussion on the things that we are talking about. We hope that we are helping you to live a life of influence and impact. And of course, don't forget that the GNF Television is a non-profit organization, so we depend on you, on your support financially to keep the license operational, so that we can continue to touch many lives, we can continue to help many people to live lives of influence and impact. God bless you. We'll see you next time.